tip you off as being a white devil.
Well, not that sort of way, but yeah. And so we picked like 1990s like hockey players. So the first one we went, we're like Yager. No one in Morocco is going to go Yager. They're going to go what? Yeah. The second one we went with in Thailand was Zezel, after the great Peter Zezel.
Good face-off man.
Good face-off man.
Solid ears.
Player.
Solid ears.
Knows how to use his feet.
But yeah, you have to think about that. You don't speak the language, you don't know, and the hustling was a lot different in Thailand than it was in Morocco. Morocco was like
very aggressive.
All the time.
Yeah. If you take pictures of somebody, or you're taking a photo, and there's somebody in that photo that
they want a piece.
Yeah, they run up to you and say, "Yeah, give me, a certain amount of dirham or whatever it is."
Yeah. And the big scam is you're going the wrong way. Let me show you.
Oh yeah.
And then they show you, and then they hit you up for 20 euros at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And the Germans and the older people, you see them in groups. That's just like feeding frenzy.
Yeah.
They're getting all the counterfeit purses.
So do you do research before you go, like to know what the
Morocco,
pitfalls are?
Yeah. Thailand, we just winged it.
Yeah.
Just flew to Bangkok.
And just figured it out as you went?
We spent like 3 nights in Bangkok at this hostel, which was really nice, and just went from there. Now you can either go like south into like the beach area, or you can go north. So we decided to go north.
Yep.
As you can see from our great tans.
Yeah.
How did you find Thailand though? Like, because most
we looked
people,
on a map.
most people go to Thailand because they're dirty perverts. Is that true?
No.
Is that true in this situation?
No. Like, did you see it? Did you see like the sex?
Oh,
Best part.
Yeah, we went down to a place. It's like the red light district, but it's called Soy Cowboy, and it was started by like some American GI in like the 70s. And it's just an entire street of just go-go bars and like hookers and.
Imagine like Nickies, but like a row of Nickies with lights, but not like new lights, like 1990s. Like, come on in, boys.
And the best-looking men you've ever seen.
Well, they do say that the best-looking Asian women are actually Asian men.
Yes.
Yeah. And do they have lady boys that come in to try to escort you?
Yeah, what was the bar? Cockatoo, I think
Cockatoo,
it was?
yeah. There was one dedicated, so if you had 12, there would be one like that.
Yeah.
Right beside the Cialis stand that they were selling.
Really? Cialis stand?
Bootleg Cialis.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Did you bring any home?
No.
Oh, we didn't.
Oh, damn, man. I'd buy that. I'd pay for that.
But it was interesting to watch the...
Oh, wow. Really went down that rabbit hole.
What? Is that on the internet? My dick doesn't work like it used to. Shit. Damn it. No, well, I think that you must have went to a place like that. Then you go to you're in the red light district of Thailand where all the dirty stuff happens.
Belly of the beast.
You're seeing all this sexual stuff. You go back to your hostel. Surely, you must be thinking about different things. Surely you must.
That happens.
Like sometimes.
I think there's a funny story.
No. Different spot, different time. And
it wasn't. It wasn't resulting with that.
No. It wasn't any stimulation. I never really had yellow fever. I think I probably got a shot for it. So when I went over, I never got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were not sexually stimulated by the Thai women.
Correct.
And but yet still, something in your psyche must have had to pull at some memory of something. Maybe your girlfriend, I would imagine.
Yeah. There might have been a situation. The worst thing was I felt like a real felon. Because in Thailand, actually, the pornographic laws, not there was anything transmitted, but if there was, would actually be illegal.
What do you mean?
You can't share porn, create porn, view porn.
Oh, porn's just against the rules?
You can get a hand job for $50 around the corner, no questions
asked.
No porn.
Shame.
That's like
how I got back.
Yeah, that's like the opposite of what we can do. Because you can't be a prostitute here, but if you film it,
you can pump off left and right.
Yeah. You can film in exchange for money and sex, and it's legal. But if you don't film it, it's illegal. I don't get that one.
I think the real question that derives from the story is this: when's the last time you got busted?
Oh, jerking off?
Yeah.
Well, because we kind of hinted at the story, but we didn't actually get into it. I heard somewhere along the line that you were referred to as another name in Thailand.
That is correct.
He's the Chiang Mai Chubby Choker.
The Chiang Mai Chubby Choker, and this is because you were caught in a precarious position. By who?
By the
proprietor
of the building.
Hostel.
Yes.
The hostel owner.
Yes.
Yep.
The hostel owner, who is a Thai person?
He is.
A
Very
man,
nice
Thai man?
Very cool dude.
And where were you in the time where you in this, engaging in this?
I would say I just arrived at the Elephant Nature Reserve.
Oh, he arrived.
The Elephant Nature Reserve.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is leading me to a whole bunch of new questions that I didn't consider. Because you were at the Elephant Reserve, and now what set you off? Like, what was the
17
tantalizing part of the elephants?
Well, the 17 days, I mean. Fuck, I'm a human being.
Right.
17 days.
So did you see an elephant pussy? Is that what it was? Like, because they're probably enormous.
Actually, in the timeline, yeah, we did. But no, that's not exactly
wasn't
what I
what's
was thinking about at the moment.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the big, huge elephant pussy. Because because I can imagine you being at the reserve and an elephant just turns around and you're like, oh, Jesus, it's going to take a dump. And then you're like, all of a sudden you're like, oh, my God. Look at the size of that big, huge elephant pussy. And then you're like, I want to get back to the hostel.
Not how it transpired.
That wasn't one. Okay.
Yeah, no.
That wasn't it.
No.
Okay, but you were at the elephant hostel.
Yep.
Or the elephant reserve.
Yeah.
And what happened there?
Well, the shower light didn't work. I didn't realize to lock the door. There was two fucking people, Braden and myself.
You're in the shower.
I wasn't in the shower.
No, you weren't in the shower. He was listening at the door.
Call that
Braden,
Wednesday.
Listen to this. I had a buddy of mine that lived in my bunkhouse when I was on the farm, and he was. We had so we're in the bunkhouse. He was there for planting season, and he's a guy I'd lived with at the university, and he was in the shower, and it was like I was in the living room, and then he goes in the bathroom, and he goes into the concrete block shower that we built for the bunkhouse, and he goes and jerks off in the bathroom, in the shower, and then he comes back and says, "Hey Pete, I just fucked your girlfriend." Because that's the only girl he had seen since he started planting, so he just went and jerked off thinking of my girlfriend, and that's how he
was fired.
No, that's how he did it. And he thinks if he jerked off thinking of the person that he banged them, that was as good as banging them.
Braden's got a whole town pregnant.
Yeah.
How rude and accurate.
So the guy comes in. You have to break down the guy coming in.
Yeah. So basically...
so you no door locked, you're in the shower, you're wanking off to an elephant puss, and all of a sudden...
and all of a sudden the door opens, and there I am, and there he is, but it wasn't even a fast close. As soon as I opened the door and I went, holy fuck, I'm sure I yelled something audible, I can't remember at the moment, I was trying to cover certain items. But in the moment... but we made eye contact. It was he opened, I turned around, and was like, oh, gee... it wasn't even just oops, sorry. You're taking a shit, someone accidentally opens the door, you're like, oh, caught me. But in this case, you caught me.
So you just kept going? Is that what you're saying? You didn't... It didn't
Invited him in.
He's a mere man. Whoa. 17 days was long, not that long.
That's what he said.
So did this guy just kind of open and shut the door?
Yeah, pretty much after.
And then afterwards, did you have interactions with the fellow?
Yeah. Actually, the best interaction, because I got to tell Braden, because Braden, as it was termed for Tyler Shasman, is also a gentle pervert. So we had to laugh about this story here, but we come back out. I don't know. We had a nap about 2 hours later, and sure enough, there's an out of order on the shower I used. Apparently, there's a water issue. Yeah. Viscous.
Oh, this is a viscous.
No,
clog it right up with his viscous jizz.
But it was awkward because we had to check out. We still had to make the transaction. We still had to shake hands, and he knew. Yeah. He knew.
But he knew two things, to be fair, Ben. He knew that you jerked off, and he knew that you were in the shower, and you probably washed your hands.
He shook your hand?
He shook my hand. It was
great.
Wait, it wasn't open the door, shake my hand.
Oh.
This was a transaction that transpired many.
You didn't shake your hand when it was on your dick in the shower, is what you're saying, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah, no. He definitely did. Thank you, though.
It was this disappointed look that was so hard to take, right?
But I want to say something quickly. This is the fucking point I forgot and it's a good close to this one. This is the point I forgot. It's that, you know how the internet exists, and everybody thinks that it's infinite. It's infinite. There's every opinion. There's everything on the internet, right? And yet, people seem to find their own opinion and stick to that on the internet, and it becomes less focused, less perspective on the earth. So, people when you think you have this tool that everybody can get more perspective on everyone's opinion, it seems like everyone's just focused on their opinion, and they just find more evidence to support it, and they're not finding perspective.
An echo chamber.
Yeah, something that can shout back the shit that they already think, and then they never expand what they think. Where you guys travel to other parts of the world, and you have no choice but to open your eyes and see perspective where you didn't have perspective before, right?
Yeah.
And how do you...
Yeah.
But how do you see the value in, like, this is obviously, like, I would think that this is of great value. Like, if I wanted to suggest this to my kids, I'd say, like, you should do this, because the importance of living a full life is, and trying to gain wisdom is to get perspective so that you have something to base things on, right? And you guys did it. You guys are doing it.
Right.
And so did you get anything out of the experience? Like, do you see anything that you learned from going on these 2 trips?
100%. Like so many things, but I think the big thing comes down
Lock
to
the door.
is I'm thankful. Like, it's great, and I love to be an observer. Like, it's a zoo for 2 weeks, and then I come home, and then I come home back to real life. And you know what? We got it pretty fucking good here.
Yeah.
You know,
You haven't found anything that you would trade it for yet?
No.
No.
And I smoked hash in Morocco, and that still's not worth trading for. I mean, I didn't, but a friend of mine did.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
But no, I think that the big thing you take home is how, not necessarily lucky, and there's shit to bitch about, and but really, it could be worse, but really, it could be a lot better, too.
Yeah, when we're bitching about mankind, person-kind stuff, our country is pretty easy. It's pretty easy to deal with, at the end of the day.
Fuck bad.
Fuck bad.
The one thing that I took away from it was that in Thailand, they kind of have like a, whatever you do, don't snap at people, like no matter how difficult the situation is, kind of a thing, like that mentality, and I kind of like that.
Oh, really? It's like it would be like
it's
a
like
great
don't-
shame for
don't-
them if they were to lose their temper
Like
or something.
freak out. We heard one guy freak out like in traffic, and he was yelling at some tourists. He's like, "Get the fuck out of the road!"
Yeah.
But I think one of the things from a political level that I took back, or maybe not a political, but a cultural difference, is when I went to these countries, I was a guest. And should I ever choose to live in that country, I will remain a guest.
Yeah.
And that's a very difficult thing, and I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent, to bring home.
But
Because, I would never go to, let's say, Thailand, even though we did see a Christian center, and try to push my beliefs down people's throats. I would never go to Morocco. That is the last thing I would do in Morocco.
right.
I mean, I don't know what jail I'm more scared of, Thai jail or Moroccan jail.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be in either of them.
And that's one thing I brought back, was just say, you know what, enjoy what we have, and hopefully the people enjoy what we can offer them.
Yeah. But it's different if you went to a Western country, if you went to, say, Belgium or whatever, and you were...
Oh, fuckles. Oh, yes, fuckles.
It's my people.
Yeah, but they're more like... But then you probably wouldn't feel the same...
They're still white people, or Caucasian, or whatever you want to call them. That's
In a
different.
Christian-based country.
That's
and
what
Or Catholic, or something that believes in...
Yeah, and that's just more familiar to you, so you
Yes,
don't
what
feel...
Yeah.
Zwarte Piet?
Wat wheat?
Zwarte?
You know what? We were way over time. Way over time, and I'm sorry. I'm just going to end with one street joke.
One time.
I'll say one street joke. I made everybody think of one, but I'm going to tell this one because it's about the nocturnal emissions.
Uh-oh.
This is a joke that actually happens in the future. It's not really a joke. It's a true story.
Is this a movie?
Yeah, one day,
Based on a book by Saffron?
Paul was driving the nocturnal emissions and Live from Dutch Hall crew on a bus. And we're going to a tour of the country. And oh my goodness, does Paul fucks up big time and crashes the bus.
What the fuck, Paul?
And all the nocturnal emissions die, with the exception of me and Paul. We're not part of the band, and we also are sitting in the front. We got airbags. We live. But Michael, Wes, Dave Charters, and Steve the Reluctant German all die tragically in the bus accident and end up at the pearly gates of heaven. And there they are, standing at the pearly gates. Wes is first in line. Mike's right behind him. Steve's behind Mike, and Dave's bringing up the rear.
Thank goodness.
Right? Wait, hold on a second. No.
Dave's bringing up the
No.
punchline?
Charters is third in line. and Steve's bringing up the rear.
Oh.
God,
It's very
damn it.
integral to this joke.
Damn it.
So, anyways, they go up to the pearly gates. Wes goes first to St. Peter, and he says, St. Peter says to him, Wes, we're happy to see you here in the gates of heaven, but we have one question to ask you before you enter the gates of heaven. We have to ask you one thing. Wes, have you ever touched a man's penis before? And Wes says to St. Peter, Wes says, St. Peter, I can't lie to you at the gates of heaven. I'm going to have to tell you the truth. There's one time I remember I was reaching over to grab, to shut off the alarm clock. My brother and I used to share a bed when we were young. And I grazed my pinky finger across my brother's penis. Felt shame about it immediately. But I have to tell you the truth, St. Peter, that's what I did. I grazed my pinky finger on my brother's dick. And St. Peter says, Wes, dip your finger in the holy water and enter into the kingdom of heaven. Right? So Wes enters in.
Hey.
Mike Bowe's next up.
Fuck what I do.
And he goes into he goes to say St. Peter, and St. Peter says, Michael, oh, Michael, I'm so happy to see you, Michael. Just got to ask you the same question I asked Wes. Have you ever touched a man's penis before? And then Michael said, St. Peter, I played a lot of hockey in my day. But, out of all those times, I never touched that man's penis. But there was one time where I was at a party after a hockey tournament, and I was drunk as a skunk, and I passed out on a bed. And when I woke up, I saw one of my friends with his balls right above my face.
Oh.
And I was angry as hell that he was doing this to me. And I remember I grabbed up and I just grabbed the first thing I could, and it was his dick, and I gave it a yank. And I feel terrible about it, but I was angry about it. That's what I did. And St. Peter said, Michael, I want you to dip your whole hand in that holy water, and then you can enter into the kingdom of heaven. So that's what Michael did.
Sweet.
And then St. Peter looks back in line, and there's Stephen and David just fighting like two cats and dogs, just fighting like crazy. They're just like jockeying for position. One's trying to get in front of the other's trying to get in front of the other. And St. Peter's like, boys, why don't you settle down? Why don't you settle down? What's the problem here? And Stephen says to St. Peter, he says, if you think I'm gargling with that holy water after he's had his ass in it, you got another thing coming. Anyways, get off of that Zoom shot. Steve, you only sucked a dick. Church took it right in the ass. Just so you know, I saved you the worst spot. You win. Church took it right in his behind. Everybody, if you'd like to support our show, please share something online. It helps us out greatly. Otherwise, you can send us some feedback at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com. And we are Dutch Hall on Instagram, Dutch Hall on Twitter. We are live from the Dutch Hall on Facebook. And you can tell a friend, do whatever you want to do. Look up our dates online.
Like and share.
Like and share. Do that shit.
It's fun. It's easy.
And let us know who you want us to book as a guest. Other than that, we will see you NT. See you next Thursday.